Public speaking is the #1 fear in America. Death is #2. There are as many quotes about the fear as there are about the promise of public speaking. There are only 2 types of speakers in the world, Mark Twain told us, the nervous and the liars. Ralph Waldo Emerson said, speech is power. Speech is to persuade, to convert, and to compel. For most of us, learning to become good public speakers was a challenge not easily forgotten. It entailed a great deal of practice and a great deal of courage. Here at Arizona State University, our faculty recognized the need for a safe place where our students could build their public speaking skills. The idea was to create a learner-centered environment that would provide training for all facets of successful speaking. All we needed was some space, a sound plan, and a team of dedicated student mentors. And so, with the help of a small statewide grant, our public speaking lab was born. I taught most of the public speaking classes and was given the opportunity to become the first director and lead researcher for our public speaking lab. Our overarching goal was to provide an environment where students could speak free of judgment and without the fear of getting a poor grade. They needed the means to simply practice out loud and not just in front of a mirror, but with another person who is trained in public speaking and who wants them to be successful. Next, we needed space. And for any of you who have taught in higher education, you know that space is always at a premium. Our first space was a couple of rooms in the basement. One was filled with old computer parts. The other was filled with bits and pieces of old science experiments. With a lot of elbow grease, some secondhand furniture, and the appropriate recording technology, we were able to create 2 public speaking training rooms, 1 small director's office, and 1 very small storage closet. It was a good home base for creating a lab identity, which we promoted through word of mouth, through pamphlets, and through a website. More importantly, it was a great place to conduct appointments and training. But in order to be truly successful, we needed a team of dedicated individuals who understood the power of public speaking and were invested in helping others find their voice. Based on our research, we knew the most powerful and least intimidating way to help students was to use a peer model, where students working alongside students mentored the speaker through the public speaking process. Our first student mentors were faculty-nominated students who had worked hard to manage their own stage fright and were diligent in consistently improving their speaking skills. The other, even more important quality we were looking for was the student who supported and encouraged their classmates, who had reassuring words for another who was struggling with different facets of their speech. With our mighty team, our evolving space, and solid research in place, we began our journey. From the beginning, one of our most effective teaching methods was to record each speaker and then play that recording back with the student. Now, how many of you love to hear or see a recorded version of yourself? No. We can learn a lot from the words of a mentor or from written feedback, but to actually see ourselves, well, as you know, that can be a real eye-opener. So, in our first semester pilot program, we saw over 100 students. Our services were not just limited to practicing speeches. Every day, in addition to helping with speech delivery, we were working with students who were practicing group presentations, brainstorming speech ideas, or preparing for interviews. Every day, our mentors brainstormed and developed a variety of unique ways to help all of our students by designing workshops, instructional videos, tip sheets, and analyzing appointment feedback. Soon, not only did students enrolled in communication classes want our services, But other campus departments and programs were requesting our help. Soon, we gained enough recognition that we even began presenting public speaking workshops to youth groups, after-school programs, and community groups. While we were developing public speakers, we were strengthening the bonds between the university and the community. It became obvious to us, as it is to you, that our public speaking lab was not just about helping students pass a class in college. Preparing students to become well-developed communicating adults was a powerful skill set, so necessary for today's world. The ability to speak your mind, promote an idea, advocate for a cause, or reveal a discovery is a fundamental part of human existence. This hasn't changed in a very long time, and certainly not in the last 17 years since we started our journey. Certainly, there is more technology now. Long gone are the VCR tapes. But the foundation for creating, organizing, and delivering a compelling message remains intact. As always, oral communication and strong presentation skills remain the most sought after, but frequently one of the less poorly managed skills of college graduates. For these reasons, we must continue to build and nurture centers dedicated to helping others talk back. Our public speaking lab has been a wonderful addition to Arizona State University's West Campus, its communities, and its citizens. Today, the lab conducts over 2,000 undergraduate appointments each semester, both in person and online. Young people and working professionals outside the university continue to seek help in overcoming their speaking anxiety. But the strength of the lab continues to be its student mentors, students who signed on to help others master public speaking. Students who didn't necessarily start out as the best public speakers, but they fought hard to overcome their own public speaking fears. They fought hard to learn to speak publicly. These student mentors struggled, they worked, they practiced, and they never gave up. And through this process, they also built empathy and the temperament and the heart to be willing to help other students learn to be fine public speakers. Today, our lab alumni are speaking brilliantly throughout the United States. They are doctors, they are professors, they are lawyers, they are pastors, they are office managers of accounting firms, they're advocates, they're teachers, administrators, and so much more. Today, as we look back on this experience, we are so proud of what we've accomplished and the impact that our students have had and will continue to have as they move forward into the world. So, public speaking is the #1 fear in America. Death is #2. Labs like this one can't really help with that death. But if you are fortunate enough to have professors supporting students, understanding their need for a safe place to learn to speak publicly, and you have student mentors invested in helping you overcome your public speaking struggles, you might be able to conquer that #1 fear. Thank you.